Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, as Tasmania grapples with a rising number of child sexual abuse allegations, key details of a historic inquiry have been revealed. It's a welcome step forward, but there are already calls for the Commission to be run independently, and others say it doesn't go far enough.
The Attorney-General shedding some light on a historic commission of inquiry.
These draft terms of reference set out the scope and direction for the inquiry and provide extensive powers to the commissioners.
The investigation announced last month following an escalating number of child sexual abuse allegations within government departments. Now revealing the $10 million inquiry will examine the experience of people affected by child sexual abuse, recognising many will be severely traumatised, the adequacy and appropriateness of government responses, and what it should do to better protect children in the future.
It will look at the systems that allowed it to happen, and it will address those systems so it doesn't happen again. And it will hold perpetrators to account.
Focusing on state schools, the public health system, other smaller groups or services, and Ashley Youth Detention Centre. But one lawyer says it doesn't go far enough.
The focus on sexual abuse strictly misses out on a lot of the conduct that's gone on, especially around Ashley, where issues around isolation and the use of violence on kids.
The draft terms of reference don't preclude any other type of abuse.
Labor calling for the inquiry to be independent.
A president to that commission who's truly independent, ideally someone from another state or territory who has no potential links or potential conflicts of interest with Tasmania at all.
While the Greens say more details need to be released.
Tasmanians are entitled to know which agency were these staff members suspended from. Are all the allegations historical, or do some relate to current events? Have any matters been referred to Tasmania Police?
The inquiry will begin early next year. Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
And if you or anyone you know needs support or this story has caused distress, contact the Sexual Assault Support Service on 1800 697 877. The state's first group of seasonal workers from overseas has left hotel quarantine and headed to fruit farms. They're set to save the summer for embattled growers and stop ripe crops from going to waste.
It's the first day of work for 150 Timorese fruit pickers in Tasmania. 80 of them here at Tasmanian Berries.
There's a whole day of processes to induct them into the farm, welcome them into the country, help set up their bank accounts and make sure their pastoral care is taken care of.
These workers left hotel quarantine this morning. A second flight, this time from Tonga, arrives tomorrow, with another from Vanuatu coming early next year.
They'll be doing a range of work here on the farm. They'll be doing picking of strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, helping trellis the raspberries, the rubus crops. So there's a lot of work for them to do.
Work which had to be done.
Without this, potentially there might have been crops that are not getting picked, and there still might be.
While the workforce boost is welcomed by the industry, many farms still face uncertainty over how much they'll be able to make of this year's crop.
So we normally need about 400. So this year it does 150 out of the 400 is good. It's still not enough. We still really need the local workforce.
If farms around the state can muster up extra hands, the stock will be sold. The new Hobart to Hong Kong freight path brings new possibilities for all produce exporters in the state.
We're just at the very start of our cherry season, so we've only got a token quantity on this flight of 2.5 tonnes. But we would hope that we'd get about 15 air containers or thereabouts on most flights out of here.
The 9-hour flight cutting up to a day off some transit routes and delivering our premium goods straight to Asia. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Coronavirus restrictions have been imposed on travellers here who recently visited Sydney hotspots. It follows 5 new locally acquired cases of COVID being announced in New South Wales. Public Health says non-Tasmanian travellers who visited the locations in Sydney's northern beaches on or after December 11 won't be allowed to enter the state. Tasmanians and those who have already arrived in the state are asked to self-isolate and call the Public Health hotline. From learning at home to transitioning back to campus, it's been a tumultuous year for students around Tasmania. But with final marks filtering in for Year 12s today, many are feeling excited for what the future holds.
Year 12 has never been a walk in the park, but 2020 rolled out extra challenges for our students, and Hobart College has been no exception.
Working from home was really difficult, not having the student interaction and the teacher interaction face to face. But it went all right and it wasn't too long, which is really lucky.
Learning from home even more difficult for some, like Di Wu, an international student from China.
My original flight is the 4th of February, but the border was closed on the 1st of February, so I was stuck for 4 months there.
But he pushed through.
All my teachers were all very friendly and helpful, and I wrote bunches of emails to them every day, and they all replied fast so that I can catch up with my study.
Now he's one of the state's top 100 students, celebrating alongside thousands of Year 12s receiving their Certificate of Education today, even after spending much of the year at home.
Parts that I noticed the most was not even being in class, just kind of walking to class and saying hello to lots of people. I'd just get out of bed and go straight to my laptop and get on the chat for class.
It was definitely really good, and the teachers did the best that they could to make the transition as smooth as possible.
At the Friends School, teachers are proud of how resilient students have been.
But it's not just about who makes the top 100, it's about we really feel that we make a significant effort and try and get the best out of every student.
Yeah, I still haven't received my results yet, but I know that since I'm here I must have done pretty well.
I opened the email with my hands sort of over the screen because I was just sort of nervously scrolling down, but yeah, I think I was ready for it.
Those who do know their final marks now looking forward to the future.
I just wanted to get into medicine and I've done that now, so I'm happy.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
Georgetown is looking to capitalise on Tasmania's flourishing mountain biking industry, today beginning construction on a series of new trails. The Mayor believes it will help diversify the local economy as another project looks to brighten up the town centre.
Who says politics isn't child's play? Especially when you're spruiking the opening of a government-funded $600,000 playground.
It should be the centrepiece and the heart of this town.
The anticipated activity hub, the first step in a multi-million-dollar redevelopment of the Regent Square precinct.
We'll continue to develop those types of facilities for our people so that they can stay local.
Hopefully more than one kid to test out the newest slide, swings and flying fox come school holidays in less than 48 hours.
You can bring your kids, they have a great world-class facility to play in.
As construction on one project is completed, up the road another is beginning. On top of Mount George, a sod turning of sorts for a new mountain bike trail.
Our trails are very much so all about multi-use, multi-access.
By March, the tracks will be ready for thousands of riders, a local economic shift from industry to tourism.
The low case forecast is for an extra 40,000 visitors per annum. We actually personally believe it'll be a lot higher than that.
This is a trail that will be able to be accessed all year round.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanians are being urged to take extra precautions before going on holidays this summer. RACT insurance data has revealed a jump in home theft claims around Christmas time. Now the organisation is reminding people to check their properties are secure before heading away.
We can get claims up over the $100,000 by the time you combine physical damage to the home and the contents being stolen, on the back of the fact that thieves have more time in the home because people are away on extended holidays.
There has also been a 90% rise in claims for boats and a 50% increase for caravans over the period. More assistance is now available for households still financially struggling post-COVID-19. Next year's Guide to Concessions for Vulnerable and Elderly Tasmanians released today, providing discounts for housing, electricity, transport and health services. Ticket to play vouchers, boosting local sporting clubs for old and new members.
Being more accessible to our members and to the people in our area, we have found that there has been some uptake from new members.
The concession guide is available online or through council and government service centres. A series of never-before-seen paintings from renowned artist Tom Roberts have been uncovered for a new exhibition at Launceston's QV Mag. The artworks, including one of Mount Roland, spent months being carefully restored in Melbourne after being donated by a member of the public.
Mostly with conservation, they're trying to do the least amount of intervention that they can to maintain the integrity of the work.
The English-born artist spent years living in Launceston while perfecting his craft.
North Hobart Oval is set to host AFL action for the first time in 20 years in a pre-season game between North Melbourne and the Adelaide Crows. The last time the famous ground hosted an AFL match was in the year 2000 when Richmond and Brisbane clashed in the Ansett Cup. In an extra twist, the Roos Crows clash will be North Hobart Premiership player David Noble's first outing as Kangaroos coach, and could mark the debut of rookie player Patrick Walker, who also came from the club. The game is scheduled for Sunday, February 28. Tasmania is also hosting a pre-season game in Launceston between Hawthorn and Port Adelaide on the 6th of March at UTAS Stadium. Well, Turaka Fair is back to her best, taking out the $100,000 Conquering Stakes in Launceston. Ridden by Anthony Darmanin, the Michael Trinder trained mare held off Adam Trinder's Mystical Pursuit.
Going to be too late. Turaka Fair has burst through to grab the lead near the line, and Turaka Fair from Mystical Pursuit.
She paid $7.90 for the win. Mandela Effect finished third. Last year's champion, Blaze Fourth, was fifth. And tonight, Tasmania's only Group 1 race, the Hobart Thousands, will take place. Western Australian sensation Tommy Shelby is tipped to break the track record, but a local entrant will be taking inspiration from Tasmania's Victoria Cross recipient, Teddy Sheehan. If there was ever a year for Winburn Sheehan to win the Hobart Thousands, it's this one. It would be a fitting follow to his namesake Teddy Sheehan receiving that long overdue Victoria Cross.
He was in the paper at the time and, you know, it was just a nice little match.
Boasting Teddy's toughness, Winburn Sheehan blitzed the field in last week's heat and comes into tonight's Group 1 feature on the back of 6 consecutive victories, including the Devonport Chase.
It was something we'd been striving for a long time, and Dad actually picked up the race himself with Winley Wonder a number of years ago, so it's nice to both be on the honour board now.
Expectations will fall solely on Sheehan after Ben England's other entrant Winburn Lethal was scratched today. The heavy favourite though is Western Australian sprinter Tommy Shelby, who is tipped to smash the track record. Those hoping for a Tasmanian upset will be pinning their hopes to Sheehan, along with Blake Purcell's Sprint Gordon and Debbie Cannon's Kintyre.
He's got the potential to win a lot more races, and he's a pleasure to train. You don't even know he's at home. All he wants to do is go to the races, and you know he's a real pro.
Winburn Sheehan is paying $11 for the win. Tommy Shelby is much shorter odds, paying $1.80 for the win. Tasmanian motorsport legend will be honoured when the S5000s come to Tasmania next month. John McCormack will lend his name to a new trophy to be presented to the winner of the opening round of the series at Symmons Plains. From Burnie, McCormack was a Formula 5000 star in the 60s and 70s and is a 3-time winner of the Australian Drivers' Championship. He also won consecutive New Zealand Grand Prix. Racing will take place from January 24 to 26. On the undercard, Hobart's Luke Jackson lost to New South Wales boxer Tyson Lantry. 35-year-old Jackson was opened up during the bout, causing the fight to be momentarily stopped in the 5th. They resumed to go the full 6 rounds. Lantry declared the winner by a majority points decision. It's Jackson's second loss from 21 professional bouts.
Good evening. Launceston the high today with 23 degrees. Hobart well below average, just 16 the top. Burnie 18 and Devonport 21. Flinders Island recorded 22. Low Head, St Helens and Friendly Beaches all on 20. Smithton 18. King Island 17. Grove, Bushy Park and Strawn 16 degrees. The massive cloud over Tasmania swirls into a low to our southwest. Plenty of it coming through at the moment. In fact, there are several active lows and trough producing cloud over our region. Cloud persists over the top end as well, with cumulus clouds scattered over the eastern coast of Australia. Tomorrow a trough continues over the mainland as a cold front pushes over the Tasman Sea after crossing the state. Winds over the east, southerly with west to southwest winds elsewhere to 15 to 25 knots. Stronger over northern waters though. A strong wind warning, that's from Low Rocky Point to St Helens Point. Friday, Hobart 18 and showery. Huonville the same and 18 the top as well for Campania. Launceston expecting a high of 23 with showers clearing. Mostly sunny in Devonport though, and 20 the top. 20 also the high for Georgetown, an early shower clearing. 19 and partly cloudy for Burnie, showery for Strawn, 17 the maximum, 19 for Wynyard. St Helens expecting 20 and a showery day. Swansea 18, 17 the top for Port Arthur. The UV striking double figures tomorrow and very high. On Saturday, fine over the north, cloudy for the west, a few showers the remainder. On Sunday, scattered showers, but once again only light over the north and west. And on Monday, possible showers with light variable winds. Sunny in Perth tomorrow, a cloudy start in Adelaide, early drizzle over Melbourne, showers and a possible storm in Sydney, and that wet weather pushing right up there to Brisbane. Hobart 15 at the moment and cloudy, mostly cloudy in Launceston, 20 currently and 17 right now in Devonport. Kim, while I was away, the mail has been piling up with viewers putting in their Christmas jokes for a bit of a look on the TV news. And I'd like to thank Pete and Claire from Deep Bay for sending their Christmas joke in. Very long one, but it's all about a Christmas party, Kim, where people had to dress Christmassy to get entrance to the party. One man turned up with women's briefs on his head and they said, "No, you can't come in, that's not Christmassy." He said, "Yes, it is, they're carols."
At least they're not Claire's or Peter's. Thanks very much, Murph. Keep sending the jokes in because they will be better than Murph's, guaranteed. And that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.